Good news. We got our ESB ecar charge point access cards in the post just 3 days after sending details of the car registration documents to prove that we owned an EV. This can be done with a new car or when you get a second-hand car, and you just have to show them the registration document with your name on it, and they send you out the card, which gives you access to the 1200 charge points around the country. There's a really useful app on the phones which shows all the charge points around Ireland, and you just zoom in on your area and it will show you where they are. So the green ones are the regular alternating current charge points that take about 8 hours with our car, and when they're highlighted green like this one, that's to let you know that it's completely free at the moment. Another piece of useful information which you get from the car is that it tells you how long it will take to reach 100% charge. So in this case it's telling me that to get to 100% will take 1 hour, and that's because we're only topping up the last bit of the battery so that we have maximum range at the moment. If I go through the menus, it'll show me that the battery has 95% full at the moment. You just have to turn off the car then to initiate the charging. This is so much easier when you have the charge card. So the car is charging away on the charge point there. You can see the indicators on the dash, which I mentioned in the previous video. And at the moment I have everything turned off. But I can power up. One stage just indicates on the dash that it is charging. And at this point I can actually use the radio if I wish. But if I wanted to use heating and things like that, I need to go and power up another stage. I'm pressing it again. Now I'm going to get loads of information on the dash as to what's going on. On a short charge like this, or on a quick charge, when you've plenty of power coming in and you don't have to maximize the absolute speed of the charge, you could just keep yourself comfortable running the heater, which is electric. You can hear it there now. You monitor your heat and everything as you would when you're driving. On the dash there I can scroll through some menus which will give me a bit of information. As you can see already, it's still taking an estimate of 1 hour to 100% charge, and yeah, I think when we checked that earlier we're at 95% and we've already gone up to 96. I'm asked all the time what would happen if somebody just came along and pulled out your cable and then you come back a couple of hours later expecting a full charge and it's not there and you can't go anywhere. Well, there's actually a couple of quite handy security features with it. Now, of course, if somebody was really intent on vandalising, I'm sure they could, but they also run the risk of seriously injuring themselves by doing so because of the electricity that's involved. The charge lead, as it goes into the charger, that is locked in place. Then with the car one, as you've just put it in originally, it can actually just be pulled out and that stops the charge. So there's a couple of different modes. There's a lock mode, and this would lock the car completely so that the charge cable can't be pulled out at all. But as often people ask me as well, what happens if the next guy comes along, your car is fully charged and they can't access the charge point? Well, in that case you can use auto mode, and that will allow the charger to be taken out when the car has actually completed a full charge. So you keep your place in the queue, your car gets charged up, and then when it's complete the next guy can come along and unplug yours and plug their one in. Again, another question I'm often asked is what happens if two cars want to use the charge points, or aren't you hogging the charge point using it at the moment when you don't have a charger at home yet? But I haven't seen another car use this point on the map yet, and even if someone else came along now, they would be able to use the other side of the charge point. The alternating current slow chargers generally have two sides to each one for charging. Here's the charge map, and I've just plugged in there. If I hit refresh, it's now updated its status, and you see it's just an outline of a car there, and that is showing that there's just one car on this charge point. So if another car was to plug in here, that would go entirely black. So let's have a look at another one on the map that is fully booked out. The fast chargers generally only take one car at a time, so there is a blue rapid charger which would charge this car in about 40 minutes, and that is black at the moment. I have it turned off now for the moment, but as you can see, you can keep nice and warm and comfortable while you're working here, and there's some other pretty cool things you can do using the stereo. Even though we went for the basic version, for instance, you can keep up to date with your favorite YouTube videos, and you can enjoy the sound over the stereo. What's your man doing to that cadet? Earlier today I was streaming WRC live radio and keeping up to date with the Waterford rally driver Craig Breen, who was having an historic second place result in Sweden this weekend. To win the charge, it's as simple as swiping the card here, removing the cable from the car, close the cover, close the hatch, and taking it from the machine. It locks up by itself then.